We start with that breaking news in Oakland. We've been monitoring for about half an hour. A fire at the port has been spewing thick black smoke across the East Bay. A lot of people can see this from all over the Bay Area, and Makovic is here in the studio with us live. She's been following this with us as we've kept an eye on this. So what's the latest? I know you mentioned that we were keeping an eye on what might actually be burning here, which is important.
Right, which apparently it's metals. This is a scrap metal facility right now that's burning at the Port of Oakland. Unconfirmed reports, but I have heard that they might be calling for more help right now, perhaps getting another fire boat in from San Francisco. These are live pictures right now from our chopper over the scene. You can see it's just spewing that thick, black, nasty smoke. By all accounts, again, this is a pile of scrap metal. This is at the Schnitzer Steel Factory. It's in Oakland's Inner Harbor. So they sort and shred scrap metal, which is then sold for reuse in steel mills. The Alameda City Fire Boat got on scene about 15 minutes ago, and they've been spraying water from the bay side. That is in addition to the fire engine that's on the left-hand side of your screen that's been spraying water from a hydrant. But they haven't been able to make a whole lot of progress getting that fire out because it's burning beneath some of that debris in that very large pile. We've also been watching that excavator go, and it's been taking piles of burning debris and moving them. So they have a plan here, but they're apparently going to be on scene for much of the evening. The real concern right now is what's in that smoke that we're seeing, and people are reporting smelling that, of course, all over the East Bay as well as on the bay and just across the bay in San Francisco. It's really nasty. We have not heard yet from the Bay Area Air Quality Management District as to what this might be, what concerns there might be. We talked with the fire captain about a half an hour ago, and at that point he said hazmat teams had not even been on scene. So he wasn't sure exactly what we're talking about either. Here's a clip from that conversation.
Anybody within, I'd say, about a half mile should take appropriate precautions. So staying away from the area if you can. Don't venture down to Jacqueline Square right now where the smoke will be the most intense, and anybody again living within a half mile or a mile probably would do well to close their windows until the smoke dissipates.
And this is the video that I was referring to earlier. Oh, no, it's not. Where the excavator was moving these burning piles of debris. Again, trying to get to the source of the fire there. We know that this has been the scene of at least one other significant fire. That was back in 2018. And at that point, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District fined Schnitzel scrap metal or Schnitzel steel for that fire and for the pollution that was kicked off with all of the smoke that we're seeing right over again.
A lot of these companies are tasked with trying to do what they can to prevent and mitigate fires like this because of the concern that it could pose to the quality of the air. If there were to be a fire like this, a lot of them are supposed to take inventory of the kind of materials they have should there be an emergency like this. Interesting to point out that hazmat was not immediately dispatched. I suppose that is a good sign, but they said they were on the way. Perhaps out of a precaution, that would be the Oakland fire team. And you mentioned the San Francisco fire boats potentially coming to help out. We've reported on that incredibly innovative and expensive floating fire department station along the Embarcadero in San Francisco, where they have multiple fire boats at the ready to respond to emergencies in the bay, and that could be a mutual aid situation for them there.
But yeah, and obviously it makes a lot of sense to grab the water from the bay, rather than the hydrant. So that is something, and also they can come at it from a different angle from the seaside, because this is something that you're going to want to get all resources on before more of that smoke can escape.
Yeah, and I think the concern here is that even if they are to get a bunch of water on this, because as you mentioned, sometimes these fires ignite from the bottom of the pile. Some of these materials burn very, very hot. They make it really difficult to put out, no matter how you slice and dice it. This could be putting up smoke in the air. I'm hoping that we'll hear something from Bay Area Air Quality Management District about potential air monitoring, if that's in the cards, or information for people who are downwind of this. And Paul, is the one here who is joining us now in the studio, who could really tell us about wind direction. It looks like, Paul, this is kind of blowing east.
Yeah, blowing from northwest to southeast. The wind is generally blowing it parallel to the bay shore, so it's taking it from the Port of Oakland and then blowing it in the general direction of Alameda and Oakland International Airport. So let's go to the video wall here, and I've got the similar perspective loaded up here that you've been seeing all evening, along with some different footage here in the monitor behind me. But the volume of smoke being produced by this is impressive, which you typically see with these recycling facility fires. In fact, this is a metal recycling facility. The stuff that comprises those metals is pretty far down the periodic table. Whenever that stuff combusts and becomes airborne, it is definitely not what you want to breathe, and the smoke plume is blowing downwind. Let's take a look at the current wind speed. 17 miles an hour officially in Oakland. That is at the Oakland Airport, which is a little bit down the shore from the Port of Oakland. It's down the shore from Alameda as well. The wind gusts are a little bit stronger, 33 miles an hour. But again, that's at the Oakland Airport, right on the water. Some of the other sensors around Oakland have been reporting 5 to 10 mile an hour winds, gusts maybe up to 15 miles an hour, not quite as strong, but something we still have to monitor because, again, the Bay Area's microclimates kind of shift on a mile by mile basis. The purple air sensors have been registering a change in air quality over the past 15 to 20 minutes. The EPA sensors are still reporting good air quality, which obviously is just false, especially downwind of where that fire is happening. You can just track the plume of smoke blowing right down over Alameda. Had a Twitter user reporting already headaches and borderline nausea in Alameda because of the impact of this smoke. So deteriorating, these orange dots indicate unhealthy for sensitive groups air quality. The deeper the orange, the more likely we're trending towards just flat out unhealthy air quality. So if that smoke is blowing really anywhere close to your neighborhood, it's a good idea. Shut all the windows, make sure the doors stay shut, and maybe even stuff a towel under the door, any opening where that air from the outside can make its way inside, and just try to avoid breathing any of that stuff that is in the atmosphere because of this fire. This is a different perspective looking from one of the PG&E cameras from the Chabot Center towards the Port of Oakland, and just all of that smoke. And again, it's nasty stuff that is burning and being ejected into the lowest levels of the atmosphere. It doesn't stay up there very long. It settles down towards ground level, where then, of course, anybody downwind is going to be forced to breathe it. So something we're going to continue to monitor, returning to that perspective from our Salesforce tower camera. This is looking almost due east towards the Port of Oakland, so you can see the smoke rising up and then blowing that way, which is along the coast in the general direction of Alameda and Oakland International Airport. We'll keep an eye on that air quality map. I'm going to actually refresh that map here in just a second, and we'll give you some of the latest readings in just a few moments.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing what results of any air monitoring might be happening out there. I know viewers at home are probably watching this wondering that. Their chief question, it's ours too. It's
only going to deteriorate, unfortunately, with just the amount of smoke that's being produced by this fire.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. Just want to return really quickly to some live pictures and thank Ann Makovic for her coverage of this breaking news story in the Port of Oakland. Two different perspectives here, live pictures from our helicopter and another tower cam shot to give you the full breadth of just how much smoke this fire is putting out. I imagine at this point you could see this from many parts of the Bay Area, not just the East Bay and San Francisco. On the right-hand side of your screen, you see excavators that are trying to remove some of the material to create space for firefighters to reach any fire that might be burning on the underside of this pile at this recycling facility at the Port of Oakland. We did hear just a few minutes ago that firefighters with Oakland Fire, who are now receiving mutual aid from Alameda Fire and potentially from San Francisco Fire Department, if they choose to send boats out that way, that they said they expect to be out here for hours and hours. And historically speaking, these recycling fires are incredibly stubborn to put out because of the volume of the material, the density of material, the heat that these fires can burn at. And again, our chief concern right now, the air quality. We are working here at CBS News Bay Area to ask everyone who might be responsible for monitoring the air what they can tell us so we can pass that vital information on to you. But perhaps the most useful information right now is if you are downwind of this fire, particularly if you are in the immediate Oakland area, Jack London Square, it's best to stay inside, shut your doors, take precautions while we work to continue to figure out what exactly is burning in this recycling yard. This is breaking news that we've been following for about the past 35, 40 minutes. We're going to continue to keep our eye on this story and bring you any updates as we get them.